with travel-inspired tablescapes that are easy to recreate for your next party. Sebastien Centner, world traveler. So I follow you on Instagram and go, where are you now? You were in Paris?
Yeah, we were very lucky. Actually, my son's doing a semester abroad.
Is he?
So my wife Sheila, who you know well,
yes,
was like, oh, well, we should go over too and sort of see the sights. So we headed over. We got him settled in. I feel like we spent about 10% of our time doing that and 90% of the time seeing the sights that Sheila wanted to see. And
you
we had
hit the ground running,
time.
right?
Oh, it was 3 days. It was a whirlwind, but it was great. It was fantastic.
Beautiful.
And I hadn't been back to Paris. We go to France every year because my mother was French, but we haven't been back to Paris in like 10 years. And it was just great being back in Paris.
So you got inspired. That's why you're bringing
Very
this little
inspired.
cafe
So
table
we
over
started out with the French bistro look, or brasserie. So this is like famous, very, very traditional French dining. So we started out here with a marble dining table and the bistro chairs, which are these wicker chairs that are very traditional. You see these in cafes across France. And what we did is we did a little bit more of a sort of a romantic dinner for two. And a lot of this was inspired by the French brasserie kind of lifestyle, or the restaurants that you see. They're called brasseries. And one of the most famous ones is called La Coupole. So La Coupole is this famous, famous restaurant in Paris. It's one of the oldest brasseries. And we used to go there when we were little kids with our parents.
Aww.
And so we went back. We took our son there as well. And it kind of inspired us a little bit. And some of the things that we took away from that was kind of that look that it's casual with the seating and stuff. But at the same time, you can upscale it with things like your dishware, for example. And a lot of these French brasseries, they have very black and white motifs with their dishwares and everything. And they have their names on them sometimes. But this is very, very easy to find. So we found this online. It was super easy. Arrived, like, the next day. That's a picture of La Coupole and sort of how they have all of their own names on it, but we wanted that same look.
So you want like that beautiful trim, like black trim?
It's more muted colors, so it keeps it a little bit more sort of like, it's really in France, especially in Paris, it's a lot that the food should speak, so the dishware and everything should be black and white, et cetera, and the punch of color comes from the food. And then what we did is we added, I love napkin rings and napkins. I think that doing a napkin ring adds a certain elegance to it. So especially in a casual setting like this, if you can add a little bit of a touch of elegance.
So pretty.
And these are ones that say Madame and Monsieur, so they're very French. They're ones that I've had for years, and we thought it would be a nice touch.
Yeah, and I love the fact that they use these type of napkins.
These are very bistro napkins as well, and if you sort of notice, it's like, it's blacks, it's whites, it's browns, it's reds, et cetera, but it's all very muted, and it's about sort of just creating that bistro environment that's casual, but it has these touches of elegance.
Right, beautiful, love it.
And of course, I mean, it wouldn't be a French table without baguette.
Baguette and some wine. No,
a little bit of Beaujolais.
Yeah.
So, of course, Beaujolais is a traditional French table wine. You can get it at, liquor stores across Canada. It's a very easy wine to drink because it's not overpowering.
Right.
And we kind of wanted that whole feel. But being in Paris also, we brought you back a little surprise.
You did?
We did. It's a very little surprise, but do you know what this is from?
Yes!
So in France, they have these, by the Seine, which is the river that separates the left and the right bank, they have these bridges. And on the bridges, there are certain bridges that have what are called love locks. And you basically buy a lock, you write your name on it, and the love of your life's name, and you attach it to the bridge. So we thought, this is a little bit of a challenge to you, that you and Jim need to get over to Paris, write your names on this, and attach it to a bridge.
Yes, I will do that. You know where else they do this? Pittsburgh.
Really?
They do Pittsburgh, but I'm going to Paris.
Well, hold on a second, but in Pittsburgh, is there actually a bridge with a lock with you and Jim on it?
There's 7, no.
All right.
But you know what's really interesting, because we walked across and I said, this is what they do in Paris. And they do it on the 6th Street Bridge as you're making your way over to the stadiums. But I'm going to go to Paris. Are you kidding me?
You can attach it in Pittsburgh or Paris, whatever you prefer.
Thank you for that.
You're
That's
welcome.
so nice. So what you do is you lock it and you throw the key away.
There you go.
Now we're going to do, that's very thoughtful of you, Moroccan-inspired motif. Let's talk about this.
So we're going from somewhere that I know really, really well to somewhere I've never been. So I've never been to Morocco. Marrakesh is on my wife's bucket list of places we absolutely want to get to.
Right.
And what we're doing here is we're going into a much more colorful motif.
The palette's amazing.
So you're seeing the contrast here. Even though it's pastels that are nice and bright. So you've got your pinks, you've got your reds, your yellows, your purples, and your fuchsias, etc. So what we did was we started out with this. This furniture is all from Alti, by the way, who did an awesome job getting us stuff that gave that look.
But this is like
it's a rope-covered coffee table. Now, one of the things also why we're contrasting here is because this is more of a dining setting.
Yeah.
And what we wanted to show here is that whether you live in an apartment, whether you live in a home, everyone has a coffee table. And the Moroccan dining is more about being sort of on a coffee, a little bit more of a lower atmosphere.
Lower,
Here we have the
level.
poofs and everything.
Yeah.
But just as easily, you can grab the cushions off the couch, throw them onto the rug, sit down, and it's more about kind of like that lounging.
And I love the textures of everything.
It's beautiful, isn't it? It has
wanna
that
pet this.
richness. Careful, it might bite you.
Well, maybe they wear that on Game of Thrones too.
They could. Apparently, they wear all the furniture from the Marilyn Denis show on Game of Thrones.
So talk to me about the geometric shapes on it, because when I see something like this, I immediately think Moroccan, right?
Yeah,
and
that's what's nice
just
about it,
so
because
cool.
it has that kind of, part of it is very sort of a casual, very kind of flowing, and then they have these geometric patterns, and you'll see these all over Morocco. You see them in a lot of places around the world. And we took the inspiration from that to
isn't that
pick
beautiful?
dishware that brought in that geometric pattern
yeah.
into sort of the look. And we did that with the plates. Now, one thing about when you're setting up any type of dining on a coffee table environment, sometimes, a lot of times, the coffee tables won't be quite as, like, sometimes they're a soft surface. In this case, they are. So we use things like the trays to be able to create a placemat that was also more sturdy. So when you put a drink down, when you put your plates down, they don't fall all over the place.
You can find those trays in a lot of places.
Exactly.
Now, right?
Then what we did is we touched it up with things like the gold accents. So again, a little bit of elegance to it and a little bit more richness. And things like this. So this is a wooden tray, an artisan tray.
Beautiful
Is
tray.
it gorgeous?
It's so pretty. Let's lift that for just so you can see the carving on that. So
So
pretty.
what I believe in is when you're entertaining, you want to buy pieces that you find you can have a lot of use and you'll have them for a long time. And pieces like these artisan pieces, are things that, quite frankly, it might live on your coffee table. And normally maybe it's got photo albums on it or it's got candles on it. And then you can actually use it for entertaining as well. And then, of course, so as I said, I've never been to Marrakesh, but I hear it starts and ends with a little bit of mint tea. So we added the tea service right on top here in ceramics. And then finally, when it came to actually the food component of it, is we found this fantastic tagine from Stobe. So, do you know what tagine is?
We've used it with Michael Bonaccini. Made
Okay,
some,
perfect. Yeah,
but
he
tell
uses it a
everybody
lot.
about that,
So basically, it's like a Moroccan version of a, well, it goes on a stovetop. So you put it on a stovetop, and what you can do is you do stews in it, anything that can simmer, etc. And it's like a Dutch oven, almost like a Moroccan Dutch oven. And basically, it's great for cooking stews and stuff because there's so much space to it. And this is a nice cast iron that you can put it in. You usually have something that distributes the heat nicely so it doesn't burn. And you can leave it on for whatever it is, 3 or 4 hours, and it gets that nice stewing, and it keeps all of the moisture inside.
And the shape of it that's what keeps
That's what keeps the moisture. So what happens is instead of it going sort of over the dome, is it comes up and then it comes back down with
Wow, that's great. You know, and I'm thinking about, how easy we could do this at our homes.
You know what, this is
So
all
easy.
about stuff you could do easily, whether it's, Valentine's Day is coming up, a little romantic Parisian dinner, or whether you're doing something like this, which is, on a Friday or Saturday night and you just want to sit around, have a great dinner, maybe watch Game of Thrones and wear a couple of the pieces.
Locks of love. Thank you, Sebastian.
You're welcome.
And Sheila, too. We have to take a break. Awesome. We'll be right back. That's so sweet of you to do that.